welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the next step in the process of building a capsule wardrobe with no rules. If you haven't seen any of the previous videos, stop there and go and check them out. There will be a playlist down below. So the last video you saw from me was me decluttering my rail. It was quite a brutal declutter. What you see behind is what is left. So the point of doing a declutter was to get rid of the clothes that I don't wear, don't serve me, I don't feel good in, and to make room for some new clothes. And that's what we're going to work out today. Today is designing the capsule wardrobe with my own rules, my own guidelines. I'm not following the official rules. I took a glance at the official rules. If they suit me, I'll take them on board, and if not, I won't. So coming up with a capsule wardrobe when you've never created one before can be quite difficult, and I personally did not know where to start with this. I have always been someone who just makes clothes willy-nilly. I will just think I want to make that pattern, so I'll make it with no real thought that's gone into it. And for the first time in my life, I want to put real thought into my wardrobe. So I decided the first thing that I should do is create a mood board. Now I'll put it up on screen now so you can see it. And a mood board is just something that, well, it's a place where you can put all your inspiration pictures, all the ideas you have. So as you can see in this, I did create some colours, and they are the colour palette that I want to aim for. I've got lots of different clothes there. So I've got cardigans, got dresses, etc, etc. I've got lots of different garments, as you can see, and I really tried hard to look for plus size models so that I can get a real idea of what these clothes look on me. So I also got some images of some fabric. There's denim, there's linen, there's jersey there. And that will just give me an idea of textures and colours, really. In the process of making this mood board, it was really helpful, actually. At the start, I was a little bit dubious about how much it would help, but it really actually made me think about the way that I choose patterns. And that's something I have been thinking a lot about lately, as you've seen from my previous videos. And in the past, I've decided that when I want to make something, I'll just look for a pattern and follow the pattern. But I think moving forward, and in this capsule as well, I am going to be thinking about what I want and then going to Pinterest or the internet in general and looking for garments of that type that I really like, and look for the features that I like, and then find a pattern that closely matches that, and then adapt the pattern to make it into the perfect garment for me. And that is the process that I am kind of going to follow in this capsule wardrobe. Now the mood board is there just as inspiration. It's a springboard, it's a starting point for you to formulate ideas in your head about the direction you want to go with your capsule wardrobe. So at this point, there's literally no rules, nothing, no guidelines, no nothing. All you've got is the idea in your head that you want to get out, and getting your ideas from your head onto a piece of paper or the computer screen can be really, really helpful. I know it's been helpful for me. But as I say, it is just a starting point, and it's not something that I'm going to follow right through to the end. It's not a case of what I put on that mood board is going to be my final aim. It is really just a starting point, and what I want to create is going to change over time, and it may not even resemble very much the mood board in the end, but the mood board has a purpose. Let me know down below if you've ever done a mood board and whether you found it helpful. I'd be really interested to know that. So other areas of inspiration that I've been looking to, as well as the mood board, is watching other people's videos. I've watched a lot of videos on capsule wardrobes, and that's helped me decide what I like about a capsule wardrobe and what I don't like. And because, you know, the traditional capsule wardrobe isn't for me, but one that I can curate to be exactly what I need will be perfect. So as I said in my first video in this series, this is a no rules capsule wardrobe. Now what I mean by that is that If you look on any website about capsule wardrobes, they have a series of quite rigid rules actually. Some of them say like make 33 garments, they've got to be like muted colours, and it can be very rigid, and that is not something I want to do, and I don't advocate that for you either. Instead, what I advocate is think about what you need. Have a look through your wardrobe, declutter if you want to, but not if you don't want to. But you just want to assess your needs and actually what you want to sew as well, because that's important. So I had to think about all the rules that are out there and what's going to suit me and what's not. So guidelines that I'm imposing on myself, and we all have guidelines that we impose on ourselves. I used to impose that I just sew willy-nilly, and now I impose the opposite on myself. And while I'm imposing them on myself, it's just in order to help me create the capsule wardrobe idea, to formulate a plan, if you will. And with all good plans, they are open to change. So the guidelines that I'm coming up with are, so I wanted to declutter and start from scratch, which I have done, and that really enabled me to assess my needs. Something I've been wanting to do for a while, which I never bit the bullet, but it's something that was becoming more and more prominent in my mind that I wanted to do, is to introduce more neutrals. If you know anything about me, you know I'm a very bold coloured type of person. I was saying in my declutter video that I've got this really bright kaleidoscope of colours, and I said it's totally my personality. When I see the pastel colours, the pinks and the blues, etc., it really talks to me as well. So I want to have a balance between having more neutrals, because let's face it, if you've got more neutrals, then they go with more things and you can create more outfits from that. And I do want to balance that with a couple of bold bits as well. I want to have a mix of textures, so maybe different types of fabrics in there and different weights as well. It's really important for me to be sewing for comfort. I don't sew for trends. I don't really do a lot of research about what is out there. I do sew for comfort, and I really want to feel, as I said in my last video, that I don't know my clothes are on me. When they're on me, I'm just not thinking about them. Oh, and I thought I'd wear this top, as so many of you said you liked it in my last video. Something else I want to do moving forward is to invest in quality fabrics. So that comes from up till now, for the last 5 or 6 years that I've been sewing clothes, I've always, not always, but a great deal of the time, I've gone for real comfort, cheap pieces, and as you saw in my last video, they do not last the distance. The fabrics I'm going to show you today I did buy at the second half of last year, probably September, October time. I bought these fabrics, and I did invest and buy quality fabrics, which I am so happy about. And it's also important to me, the pieces that I make are easy to be able to mix and match. That's the idea of my capsule wardrobe, is that I can create more outfits than garments that I have. Because previously I would have lots of garments, not lots, but I had a fair amount of garments. They didn't go with anything, so they were useless to me. And because I'm thinking this out a lot more thoroughly now, I really want to have garments that can create outfits for me, and I want those pieces that I create within this capsule wardrobe. I want to be able to build on that later. So if I introduce another colour, I want them to be able to go, or if I make a certain type of garment, I want to have things to wear with that. So I'm going to be mindful of that in my decision making. There are a few things that I really wanted to consider when creating my capsule wardrobe, and the first thing really was colour. Now, if you know me, you know I love a colour, I really do, but I want more focus in my colours. I don't want to just have I don't want to be puking up loads and loads of different colours, if you will. I want it to be more streamlined, and I'm not going to shy away from colour. I am going to be more strategic in my colour decisions. So I'm looking at my mood board here. So I've got 5 colours here, 3 of them are what I would call neutrals or more subtle tones, and 2 of them are more bold tones. And that is perfect for me because I really do want to have some more subtle colours in my palette. So I've got a pink. I had to have pink in there, didn't I? Come on, guys. You know me and pink. But it's more of a pastel pink rather than a bright pink. I do have a bright pink as well, but I really wanted a soft pink, more like my curtains there behind me. I've also got a soft blue, or a baby blue that you might say, like that blue in my top just there, and an off-white, like an oatmeal colour as well. And then I've got a deep navy and a bold pink. And that was my idea for my colour palette. I started off with about 15 colours, and I had greens and turquoise in there and all sorts. But in the end, sorry, my bra is showing. In the end, I decided that these 5 colours were the ones that I were actually going to use to make up. And a lot of that was dictated by the fabrics that I found when I was buying them. So for textures, I didn't go mad with textures. In the beginning when I was buying fabrics, I wasn't really thinking too much about textures. But as I went along in the process of the capsule wardrobe, I really just wanted to think more and more about textures. And I think I'll do a series later in the year where I really focus on textures. Let me know if that would interest you. So in this capsule wardrobe, I'm sewing up cotton because I wanted good quality fabric, so I went to organic cotton quite a lot. I've got a few pieces of linen. I've got one poly fabric, which is a fabric that I've had a long time, and I wanted to make use of that in this capsule. I've also got jersey, I've got denim because I want to make my first pair of jeans, which we'll talk about in a minute. So style was something else I wanted to consider, and as I mentioned before, I want my clothes to be really comfortable. I want them to be breathable. I just want to feel completely relaxed in the clothes that I'm wearing. I want them to last a long time as well, because that's something traditionally my clothes have not lasted. And also within the style, I really like clothes that are form-fitting at the bust and then flare out at the hips, because I'm what you would call a pear shape. Now, I don't really subscribe to the fruit shapes, but if we are going with that, I am a pear shape because my hips are 2 sizes bigger than my bust and my waist. And so the styles that really flatter me are ones that are form-fitting at the top and then flare out. So in terms of style of trousers or pants, as you might call them in America, I like them to taper in on the leg. That's the style that I like. I don't have a specific number of each type of garment. I'm not getting that deeply into it. I'm just giving myself an idea of what I want to sew. So I have gone through all the fabrics that I'm going to be using, and there's 12 of them. So I will be making 12 garments in this capsule wardrobe. And so I've gone through and come up with ideas for all of the fabrics. So the patterns that I'm going to pair with the fabrics that I've bought is just a really good idea of what I want to sew. One thing is, I tend to find a pattern that I love, I'm obsessed with it, I want to make it, but by the time I get round to making it, I've gone off it and I want to sew something else, and I do not want to be stuck rigidly into a plan that I cannot change. There is no fun in that. One of the points of choosing the patterns I'm going to choose are they're either free patterns or patterns I already own. I will not be buying any new patterns for this capsule wardrobe. So I've moved back a little bit so I'm closer to the fabrics, because all the fabrics that we're going to chat about are here. The first thing I want to make is a coat, and that's probably the thing that I need the most. I haven't discussed that in previous capsule videos, but I only actually have one jacket, and it's like a mustard colour, so it doesn't go with everything. Now the fabric I have is one from Minerva, so they don't really go with the capsule wardrobe, but I kind of figure, well, your coat doesn't have to go with what you're wearing. You can still pair it with stuff. So I'm going to let this one sneak in, to be honest with you. Technically speaking, it wouldn't be in my capsule, but this is my capsule with no rules. And so I'm putting this in it. I've made an executive decision and it's going in. This fabric was given to me in exchange for a blog post, by the way, by Minerva. And I've got an idea for this. It's a medium weight coating fabric, I would say, like a wool type fabric. I'm not sure if it's real wool or not. I don't think so. But I've got an idea for a coat. There's a type of coat on Pinterest called a Rabato coat. I think it's pronounced Rabato coat. And it's basically a really big coat with an asymmetric hem and a big shawl. Now, I looked for a pattern that was really close to that, and I came up with the Octave coat by Love Notions. This is a pattern that I do own. I actually bought it in the sale a little while ago because I knew that I wanted to make this coat. And it does have a shawl, but it has a straight hem. Now, the shawl I would need to extend out a little bit, and I would need to make the hem asymmetric. But otherwise it's almost identical, and they are changes that I think would be easy to make, and of course I will show you on the vlog how to do that. The next fabric I want to show you is a bright fabric. It's a bright pink ponte, and that's this one here. It's got a nice little like a chevron texture on it. I don't know if you can see it. And this is a ponte, it's a poly, I'm 100% sure this is a poly. It's got some stretch, not a great deal. I think it'll make a good cardigan, maybe a boyfriend cardigan or a sweater. The things I come up with for this is either the Nina Lee South Bank sweater dress, which I've already made. I would need to make a small adjustment for the full bottom so the hem is flat or straight. But otherwise I can just make that up really quickly, and I think that would be quite nice. Or I might make the Jarrah jumper by Megan Nielsen, and I also own that pattern as well. Let me know your thoughts about what you think this would suit. Bear in mind that I want it to go with other things, and you'll see as we go down the list the other things that I've got. Next one is this chambray, and I bought this from Stitchy Bee. Stitchy Bee, you probably watch Cheryl on YouTube. She has some lovely fabrics. I've ordered a few times from her, haven't had a bad fabric from her yet, so I'm really impressed. When I ordered this, it's called denim something or other, and I thought it was actual denim, and so I was actually buying it for a pair of jeans, but when it arrived it was very thin. It was just my fault for not reading the blurb properly, but then I thought, well, it's nice and it's quite a funky pattern. That's my personality, don't you think? So I was thinking, what can I make with this? It is fairly lightweight. It's almost like a viscosy. Don't know if you can see that drape on it there. It's quite viscosy. And I was wanting to make the Serrata, I think it's called the Serrata jacket by Sew Over It, but I'm not sure if it's too lightweight. It might be, but I can make a lightweight version, especially if I use interfacing as well. I don't see why not. So that's what I'm thinking with that. Because of the colour of it, it would need to go over a plain top, I think. Because I wouldn't be one for mixing colours. I wouldn't be one for mixing patterns and colours as well. Another option I thought of was the Pona jacket by Helen's Closet. So I made one that I destashed from or decluttered from my wardrobe because I didn't like it, but it was in too much of a heavyweight. Where this is fairly lightweight, I think it would be better as a Pona jacket. And if I did it, I would lengthen the Pona jacket to go below my bum, if I've got enough fabric, that is. So again, do let me know if you've got any other ideas, pass them by me as well. So the next fabric I want to show you is actually two fabrics. So I've got this navy, I can't remember where I got this. I might have got this from Sunshine Fabrics. So it's just a organic navy jersey type t-shirt material really. and I've got 2 meters of that, which is enough for me to do a t-shirt, but not much else. And I've got a few t-shirt fabrics, as you're going to see. I've got 3 t-shirt fabrics, plus I've just made a t-shirt up there. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I come up with this idea. Ages ago, I had a ready-to-wear top that I wore to death. I don't have it anymore because I wore it out basically. But it was a tee, a jersey tee, and it had a woven peplum on it. So I thought to create something like that. I have 2 meters of this. This is a really high quality fabric. I can't remember the designer's name, but I bought it from Lamazi Fabrics a couple of years ago. I got a gift voucher from one of my lovely subscribers, and this is what I bought with it. So I was thinking to put this jersey as the top part, the tee part, and then have this as the peplum. What I want is quite a form-fitting tee for this, so one that fits really nicely round here and tapers in at the waist, and then I can have a peplum, probably a pleated peplum I would do, or pleated or gathered, I'm not sure, one or the other. I thought I'd do like Henley style, so it's got the placket there, and I could use this to accent that, and also maybe do a tab on the sleeves, or even a cuff that goes around the edge in this, so it ties both fabrics in together over the whole garment. I don't have a vision picture for that, but because it's all in my head, but that is the idea. And that's something to be mindful of when you're creating your capsule wardrobe, is you don't have to just make a pattern straight out of the packet. You can come up with your own vision, as I said earlier about the Pinterest visions that I'm going to be doing. Think about what you really want, and then find a pattern to suit your needs and hack it if you need to, and mix and match fabrics as well, like I'm doing. And I really want to get more creative in 2021 in that way. So the next one I have is this, which is quite a bright one. And it's a different kind of blue to the other blues I've got, but I do have a double gauze in a very similar colour, so it will tie in. And this colour, I've got a patterned fabric, which you'll see, and it's got a bit of this colour in it, so it does all tie in together. So I'm just going to make a tee with this. I'm about to test a pattern, which is a basic tee. Can't tell you any more than that at this stage, but I'm going to use this fabric for that, and then I'll have that within my capsule wardrobe. And that is just an organic jersey. It's either Stitchy Bee or Sunshine Fabrics, I can't remember which one. So I've got another jersey. I know this might seem a little boring, but honestly it will not be when it's all completed. You'll see it all tie in together. So this is just like a baby pink organic cotton jersey. So for this, I wanted something a little bit different because I've got a couple of tees and I don't want to just have different colourways of the same tee. I want to be a little bit creative. Now, I own the Lunar PJ pants by Sew Over It, and they're basically a crossover at the bust. And I thought I could turn that pattern into daytime wear and make a tee, like basically a wrap tee, and just make it a little bit longer than it is on the actual pattern, because obviously it's pyjamas in the pattern and I won't be doing the bottoms, just the top. And I just thought that would be a really good idea. So watch this space for that one. Now this next one I am in love with, and this is the fabric. When I saw it, I just had to buy it. And pretty much the rest of my capsule colours have been created around this fabric because I love it so much. And that is this linen Paisley. Look at that, such beautiful colours, such beautiful shapes and colours. And this is such high quality fabric. I got this from Ditto Fabrics, and it was a really reasonable price actually. I think it was like £12 a metre or something. They've all sold out now, so it's not available, so I'm sorry about that, but I cannot wait to make this up. Now, first of all, I had in my mind that I wanted to make the LED dress by Closet Core. I tested that pattern, so a lot of the work has been done already. I don't know, I was just going back to the whole idea that I want to sew things that I'm actually going to wear. The LED dress is an amazing dress, but it's very much a dressy up dress, especially in a fabric such as this. So I don't think it's really appropriate. There's also a lot of detail on the LED, has lots and lots of beautiful features, and so I really think this fabric deserves a pattern that is pretty basic, pretty plain, so that I can show off this beautiful fabric. So the pattern I've come up with, and do let me know if you don't agree down below, is the CeeLo top dress. It's going to be a dress by Closet Core. It's a really basic, nicely fitted woven dress, like a shift type dress. I've had that pattern for a while, and I think that that is the pattern that I want to use this for. I did debate whether I should make trousers, but I kind of feel like it's a waste as trousers. I kind of feel like I want the pattern up top. I can't wait to wear this. I really can't. I'm so in love with this fabric. I can't tell you. I really, really love it. I wish you could feel the quality. It's amazing quality. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. As I say, let me know if you have other ideas. The next fabric is this denim. Let's have a look at the colour of this. This is a very traditional denim. So it's really dark. It hasn't been washed, so it might lighten up a bit once it's been washed. So I searched high and low for this fabric. I had the pattern first in this case. Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles bought it for me as a gift, and it was the Itch to Stitch Mountain View jeans, and they require a denim or a twill with at least 20% stretch, and it's actually really hard to find that because you want a fabric with at least 5% elastane as well. So I searched high and low, and eventually I found this fabric. Can't remember the site that I bought it from. Might have been Dalston Mill. I will put it on screen if it's not that one. But eventually I found it. And it does have the stretch that I need, because the Mountain View jeans they're not exactly real jeans. They're more of a jeggings type garment, really. And that is what I want, because I do live and die in leggings, because I just love the comfort. And I think real jeans can be a little bit uncomfortable, especially if they have no stretch in them. The next fabric is this Oatmeal linen. I bought this from Ditto Fabrics as well. Absolutely love that shop. Never had a bad fabric from them at all. And actually the jacket that I've got, the mustard jacket, I made that over a year ago. It's a sienna jacket, and it has lasted fantastically well. So Ditto Fabrics is one of my first port of calls when I go fabric shopping, because I just love what they have. They don't have a huge selection, but I do love the quality of what they have. But I want to make some trousers or pants with this. I'm not 100% decided on the pattern. So I had in my mind to make the joggers from Pattern Scout, and I did buy that pattern a while ago, and I bought it with this in mind. But the more I look at it, the more I don't know that it's right for a mid-weight linen. It says you can use woven fabrics as well as all sorts of fabrics basically, but I don't know. I might make another pair of Sew House 7 free range slacks. That might be an option. I do want something that's going to taper in, but not ridiculously so. I don't want them to be like skin tight or anything, which neither of those are, although the joggers have elasticated cuffs at the bottom. So I don't know, I'd like your input on that one, which one you would choose, or would you choose a different pattern? I know I want to have some pants, or some woven pants of some kind. The other option is the Pietra pants by Closet Core. I did make them before, so they're harder task to make those, and I got a pretty good fit out of those. The next one is this blue Tencel. Now, again, it's a little bit of a different blue, but this is a fabric that I bought about 4 years ago, maybe. And it's a Tencel, so it's a natural one. And I didn't want to just destash it. I did want to do something with it. It's got quite a matte feel. It's almost like a peach skinny type fabric. But look, I remember buying it as a Tencel, so that's what it is. So this has got quite a good drape to it, as you can see here. So I was thinking about the Winslow culottes. I made those before and they are super, super comfortable. Now, I did botch it up by hacking it, and I will leave the hacking alone if I make them again and just make them as is, because I think they're pretty good. And I'd probably do elasticated waistband on it, maybe. I don't know. But I was thinking the Winslow culottes. I want to make some kind of pants with it. I'm open to ideas with this one. If I didn't make the Nelly joggers out of the oatmeal linen, then I could make the Nelly joggers out of this. That might be quite nice. So the next one I have is a pink knit fabric. Absolutely gorgeous it is. It's got a name for it. I can't remember the name. I'll put it on screen if I can remember. But it's got quite a dainty little design on it, and I really like. It's almost like, reminds me of like my nan would have a cardigan like this when I was little, I think. But I absolutely love it. Maybe I'm old before my time, although my nan was probably not a great deal older than I am now, maybe 10 years or so. So yeah, I want to make a cardigan with this. I was thinking, you know, the type of cardigans that Lisa Comfort sells. So they're cropped at the waist and they got a button band down here. I've been looking for years and years for a pattern that will match that style, and I really haven't come across it. The cashmere at Fuller is fairly close, but it's kind of a different type of style. And also the Lulu cardigan by Pattern Scout. The Lulu cardigan by Pattern Scout is another option, so that's the one I'm probably going to go to. That's the closest to what I'm looking for that I can find, and maybe I need to do some hacking to it to make it exactly what I'm looking for. But then maybe I don't need a cropped one. Maybe I need one that comes down to the mid-hip, because if you think about it, if I'm going to make slacks with the oatmeal trousers, or even jeans, that maybe that's what I need rather than one that comes in at the waist. Oh, now I'm rethinking things. Maybe the Fuller cardigan would be a good call on. Sorry about these cards. Maybe the Fuller cardigan would be a good call on this one. Let me know your thoughts down below. The last fabric I've got is this beautiful, beautiful double gauze. Double gauze can be really difficult to work with. It's very, very beautiful, but it's not difficult sewing. I made the Indigo by Tilly and the Buttons in a double gauze, and it sewed beautifully. The sewing wasn't the issue, but I made a lining because it was quite see-through, and having washed it a few times, the dress is actually shortened vertically. So the lining is showing through underneath. So I really need to like shorten the lining a little bit. And that is something that can happen. I would steer away from making trousers out of this because it does shrink vertically. I absolutely love this fabric. And the thing that I'm going to make with it is the Style Arc Jules cardigan. No, it's called the Style Arc Jules woven tunic, but it's in the shape of a cardigan. That's why I called it a cardigan. So it looks like a cardigan. It's got a button placket down the front. It's got a V-neck. It's got an angled peplum on it. And I just really, really like it. Now, Style Arc is going to mean a bit of work to get it to fit me. Style Arc fits pretty well, but the sleeve design is atrocious on me. The sleeve head is always really high. I made a denim jacket by them and had to take 3 inches off the height of the actual sleeve head to get it to look semi-okay. So there will be some work around that, but it's not anything I can't do. And so I'm really looking forward to doing that. So that's my capsule wardrobe plans. As I say, they are open to change, but that's what I've got. I love that I am so focused in my mind now. I know the colours, I know the fabric, I know the patterns. I just got to get on and sew it, and then I'll have a whole wardrobe of outfits. I will film videos in the process of making all these garments, but at the end I will do a show and tell where I will model all the different outfits that I can achieve from these patterns. So let me know if you're going to follow along with this capsule wardrobe, no rules. How are you going to do it for yourself? Do let us know down below, because I'd be really interested to hear that. So if you like this video and you'd like to see more, do hit that subscribe button, click like if you liked it, and do leave me a comment as well. I've also got a Ko-fi account and a membership down below, so do check those out. Until next time, happy sewing. Bye for now.